I am just clearing up the last bits from the Alberta exhibition. We have closed it down, and I'm really sorry. I forgot to time-lapse me taking everything down. So you're seeing me with one of the last pictures. What I want to do now though is I've had to move a lot of stuff up to my new storage room called the West Room. And I'm going to put this in here, but I've been able, because we're going to be opening up the Alberta exhibition next year with new letters that will be discovered. We'll be able to update the AI. So I've put a lot of the exhibition bits here. You can see it in here. Let's see. Ooh. In here, there's the mannequins and the hat mounts in there, or mannequin, I should say, hat mount. So that's been really helpful. You can see here's one of the display cases here, and I put a couple under there. Books have gone back. I've kept a little bit of the same pictures around, apart from this one, if you're interested. This is actually a really pretty one. I had taken it down. This is when the first Earl of Sandwich, when he was going back to Portugal to bring the Catherine of Braganza to England to marry Charles II. So there you go. That is correct. Make sure that's right. Yeah, he's in Lisbon, and it was on the 28th of March, 1662. And let's see if it's got, yeah, but he's basically, him and his entourage are going to collect Catherine of Braganza, who then marries Charles II. Now, let's head upstairs. So I'm still trying to convince Luke to make this my sort of storage still open to the public space, and I'm still working on him, so fingers crossed. Now, what I've done, there were two hats that were on display in the exhibition, and I've already put them in some acid-free paper. So this is, I can just get it out and show you. This was George's top hat. This box, I'm not necessarily pleased with it because it's not a proper archive box. But, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to order, and I'm going to show you guys where I order all of my archiving equipment. I think that you'll be really interested to actually know that. So what I've done here is I've taken the hat, just put some archive paper there, which I'm running low on. So I probably will come back and do a little bit more because I need to order. So I thought it'd be interesting. In fact, many of you have asked where I order a lot of my archiving supplies, and that's what I want to show you today. But I'm gonna get this in here. There, that's that. Again, I need lots of space here. Goodness. What I've done is I've created labels. This is actually how many, here we go, how many I need to put on. So I need to put on that is the 17th century, the Jacobean apron. That's a silk. Here's the coronets. Here's the court kit. Here's the coronation robes properly. So remember I said I was going to redo them, but then I was like, oh, I need to do a whole bunch more. Here are the court kit breeches. Here's a silk dress. This is probably 19th century. Yeah, it's a lot, everybody. It's a lot. And then this dress, of course, was worn by Faith, George and Alberta's number 3 child. And I need to put that into an archive box as well. And I need to put the Fortuny dress here, which I've just brought up, into an archive box as well. And you can see here, we put all the poster boards. That's Alberta's legacy. There we go. So we've put all the poster boards from the exhibition into a box. So all the poster boards are in there. So safely stored until we reopen, everybody, the exhibition next year. So I'm going to do this, but what my plan was, is that she walks around everywhere, is I've taken, of course, bits that were in the display cases. And what I've decided to do, and this is really important, well, in my view it is, but this was Alberta's diary when she was 10, and this was on display. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just, I mean, look at, you can see it there. It's sort of, that's Monday, the 14th, 1889. And we've had this entire diary transcribed. It's so precious and wonderful and just really, really touching and sweet. Look at December 25th, Christmas. It's a Thursday, 1890, 12 p.m. Isn't that just wonderful? Oh, it's just wonderful. So what I want to do is order little small book archive folders, if you like, cases, similar to kind of archive boxes, but much smaller. I mean, it won't be the exact fit, but it will be a decent amount to fit. Even, for example, the Bible that Alberta held as she walked down the aisle with George. Or a prayer book, I should say. This prayer book I carried at my marriage with George, Alberta, July 25th, 1905, and there's a picture of her holding it. That was one that was on display. Here you go. She's got George Charles Montague. This certifies that George Charles Montague, MP, and Alberta Sturgis were united by me in holy matrimony Tuesday, the 25th of July. It looks like 1905 at St. Paul's Knightsbridge in London. This is very, very special. So I want to, even though it's in a box already, I want to get an archiving box around that. And I'm going to show you where I'm going to order those. And then I think the last one is that I want to show you too. I want to get an archive box for this. This is her journal that she wrote between 1899 and 1900. And I mean, this is basically the crux of my dissertation comes from this. Look at this, May 23rd, 1899. Been talking all evening with Aunt Jo. What a marvel she is. I seem to lose patience with everyone else and even sometimes with her. She is my mentor. You can see how she talks about how close she is with her Aunt Jo. And she put, some way mother is great, Aunt Jo is human. Mother is an ideal, and auntie the means of reaching it. Mother the goal, auntie the road. It's just incredible. And then lastly, what I'm going to order and show you guys is her book of receipts or her recipe book. And this, again, is really important. I need to find a good box for this. You can see I've done a little bit of restoration here. This is reversible and it's the Japanese paper. So you apply it just with water and it's reversible. So any type of conservation work I do, I want to make sure that it is reversible. And so, but these were just making sure that the big tears that were on the front page, it would just stop them from tearing in future. This is what I've been wanting to do all day, apart from sticking on these labels. So the website that I use, and I don't know if you can get it in America, is, there we go. 1 second, there we go, is Preservation Equipment. So Preservation Equipment has been instrumental in my sort of archiving journey. So I found the one I'm looking for, and it's called a portfolio box. You can actually also, so it's for long-term archival storage of prints, artwork, documents, other paper-based material. It says ideal for museums, but I guess the library was kind of a museum this year. And they're covered in black library buckram cloth with it comes with white acid-free paper lining, which is just perfect. You can then, for next year's, for the exhibition, which I might do, you can order separately these book cradles that fit into the portfolio boxes, and they're fantastic, and then they offer support to these valuable books. So I think I'm going to use that next year, but for the time being, I am going to order these. And so anyway, I thought it'd be fun I won't bore you with me ordering them on camera, but I thought it'd be fun for you all to see this. The other thing that I'm running low on is some of the tissue paper here. So the acid-free tissue paper, I need to order an entire roll of that. I've got still quite a few of these storage boxes here, which I need to put, again, a couple more dresses, as you can see. And yeah, and I'm clearing it out. It's getting a little bit more spacious in here, I feel. Chris is laughing behind the camera. He's saying, no, it's not. Is it not? I know. Oh my God. I was trying to convince everybody that it was. No, it's not. You're right. I mean, I just need to sort this out because I'm running out of space, everybody. Also, I'm really, really excited, everybody, because this is my passion, is sort of archiving the textiles, archiving the extraordinary books and papers and letters and documents and journals and diaries that we have in the Muniment room. And what's really exciting is that I'm heading to a conservation workshop at a beautiful historic house. It's an all-day workshop where I get to learn a little bit about 4 areas of conservation: paper, pictures or paintings, furniture, and textiles. And I am excited, and you guys are gonna follow me because I'm gonna take you with me on this exciting journey. So I'm gonna take you there to this amazing historic house and show you everything that I'll be learning as well. So on to my ordering. Good morning, everybody. It is bright and early here in London, and I'm heading off to Chipping Norton in the Cotswolds because I am signed up for something very exciting. Well, at least for me it is. It's a conservation workshop, and today I'll be learning more about conservation in paper, books, furniture, and paintings. And this is something I've always wanted to do. So it's gonna take me a while to get there because I'm leaving London at rush hour. So traffic is not ideal. But once I get there, I'm gonna enjoy a full day of being immersed in just, I mean, something that I love. And if I ever go back and get another master's, it'll be a master's in conservation. Never say never, but right now I think I'm happy with my 1 master's in country house studies, but might be going for another one. Anyway, I'm gonna film as much as I can for you so you can see what I'm getting up to today.
You can see that there's a great big crack in the wood there at the top, and you can see how the painting itself sort of curves, it's concave, and it looks like it's made of 3 separate planks of wood. And I'm guessing, without seeing the back, the straight lines, the vertical means that they are planks joined together, and the thing is, each piece of wood must move differentially. I'm guessing this painting is restrained at the sides want to move. That's how you get cracking. In the past, used to be given this sort of thing. It's a cradle, it attaches to the back.
When we're doing a condition assessment, we're always sort of trying to look underneath really to sort of work out what's going on. So if it's something like a table, then we'll be looking at the structure and the joints. In the same way with the surface, we're looking at how the layers are built up to then understand what sort of deterioration processes might be taking place, if there is anything awry or any aging occurring. So gilding that you might find on these 2 tables, for example, is using a technique using water gilding. So generally that's on a gesso ground, and that's made using, here I've got some French chalk. Because we're in the north, we generally use, north of Europe, generally use calcium carbonate as a sort of gesso. In further sort of southern regions, they'll use calcium sulfate. So it's one way of identifying if you have an object, where if you haven't an idea of its provenance, then you can sort of understand a little bit from the materials that it's made of. So yeah, we use super finely sifted chalk, which is then bound with rabbit skin glue. I'm afraid this is still used. There hasn't been a better alternative. This one, it's been somewhere quite hot, I would think, possibly next to a fire, because if you look at the lower part of the cabinet, it's on the right as you go in that room next door, it's got a really deep crack allure, and that is a sort of suggestive of what can happen to varnishes when they get very hot. They will shrink and draw away from the surface. So this is a sort of an effect which you wouldn't necessarily see on a lacquer item. It wouldn't react in quite the same way.
Measure every single book, where it sits on the shelf exactly, and exactly where the support is, where that support sits underneath that book, and how deep it needs to be in order to accommodate the gap between the shelf and the bottom of the text block. And when you tie these tapes, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. And the right way, and I do the right way just because that's the way I do it. I don't know how to do the wrong way. But the right way, you should end up with your knot, your bow, going with the book, along the spine of the book, like that. It shouldn't sit sideways. So if you tie it wrong, it shouldn't sit like that. So if you were to tie this and it did that, you'd have to kind of unlearn how to tie a tie like that and to do the opposite and tie it the wrong way.
All right, today was just eye-opening, incredible. Such a big knowledge dump on conservation practices, from paper, books, paintings, furniture. I cannot wait to get back to Mapperton and implement some of what I learned. That's what's so exciting. So I'm going to share with you all very soon what I've learned and start to implement it throughout the house. But I need to also go back and share it with Luke. But now I'm heading another 2 hours to basically not quite, well, to Hinchingbrooke. Yeah, so our family ancestral seat, I'm heading there to pick up a frame. Do you remember when I went there the last time and I picked up some of the pictures that we had loaned to the school, and they didn't fit into the back of the car fully because the frames were taking up too much space. So I had left a couple of frames, so I've picked up one already, and now I'm going to pick up another one, which is really nice. That means I get to go to Hinchingbrooke, and then I am the president of the local Huntingdonshire Historical Society, and it's the AGM, and so I'm about to give another talk this evening for the AGM on Alberta, but on her early life, so, and kind of as a young adult, so which is basically based around my dissertation, but all the way up until the point that she said yes on June 14th, 1904. So it would be a little bit different from what I gave, the sort of lecture, if you like it, that I gave last year. Anyway, great day. It's 4:00. I still have so much more to do. I've got to go to Hinchingbrooke, and then I'm going to the town hall to give my talk. So stay with me because there's a lot more on this episode. All right, I'm about 2.5 miles away from Hinchingbrooke, and it is a full moon tonight. So I think that's good luck. It's been a crazy day. It took 2.5 hours to drive to Oxfordshire for my conservation workshop, and then from Oxfordshire to Cambridgeshire it took me 2 hours, and I won't finish this evening until probably 9:30 if I'm lucky, and then I have 2 hours back to London. So talk about, it would be, let's see, I left the house at 7 a.m. this morning. I'm gonna get home at really, let's be honest, close to midnight. So I don't even know how many hours that is, but it's a long day. And don't get me started on what's happening tomorrow. Okay, I'm coming into Brampton, everybody, which is the neighboring town to Huntingdon. And this is, I mean, it's lovely Tudor buildings here, but this is where Samuel Pepys, Edward Montagu's cousin, well, technically, Edward Montagu, the first Earl of Sandwich, his wife, Jemima Crew's cousin. And I should be coming up to the church in Brampton where all the Montagus are, well, the majority of the Montagus are buried, including Alberta. Here we go. I've eaten at the Black Bull before. And here is where Alberta is buried. And I promise, so St. Mary Magdalene, I promise I'm going to come back there and clean her stone. That is my plan, and I will do that. I'm making the commitment now to all of you. I'm heading into the school now, which is Hinchingbrooke House. And I'm going to park. Look at, there is Tom waiting for me. So nice, he's got the gatehouse open. I'm now at the town hall here in Huntingdon. And I'm just gonna go over to the Thinking Soldier, which was all because of Alberta raising funds for it through the Women's Institute, and then her friend Kathleen Scott, who was the widow of the great Arctic explorer Captain Scott, who was also just a fantastic sculptor. And this was then created in memory of, it's called the Thinking Soldier, in memory of those who lost their lives in the First World War. And it was unveiled November 11th, 1923 by George, and then actually 100 years later, November 11th, 2023, William, our son, and Luke did a re-unveiling. So it's pretty special. Really, really special. Anyway, I'm gonna tidy myself up and then I'm gonna go give my talk. I'm just about to give my talk. It's very exciting.